afternoon on this Monday, January 13th. I'm Yumna Naufal, and these are today's headlines. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Jawad Zarif is in Beirut. He announces that an Iranian judicial delegation will visit to probe the details of the Iranian embassy twin bombings. Head of the Future Bloc MP Fouad Senoura describes the cabinet formation as moving forward after talks with Speaker Nabih Berri. The Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant executes dozens of rival fighters over the last 2 days as the group recaptures most territory it had lost. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Jawad Zarif announced that an Iranian judicial delegation would visit Beirut soon to probe the details and circumstances of the twin bombings that targeted the Iranian embassy in Bir Hassan. The announcement comes after the death at the military hospital of Majid al-Majid, the Saudi chief of the Al-Qaeda-linked Abdullah Azzam brigades and the alleged mastermind of the deadly attack. "We congratulate the Lebanese," he said, and on the major achievement of arresting the terrorist Majid al-Majid, and we laud its efforts in this regard. He told reporters at Beirut Safi International Airport as he arrived in Lebanon for an official visit that an Iranian judicial delegation will visit Beirut soon to probe the bomb attack on the Iranian embassy. The top Iranian diplomat described Lebanon as a country of resistance, noting that it is a role model for the people and the region. The head of the Future Bloc, MP Fouad Senoura, describes as good a meeting he held with Speaker Nabih Berri. He said after the talks, quote, "We had a good and beneficial meetings, and we will continue consultations over the formation of a new government." Al-Manar TV said that Senoura is expected to meet with Prime Minister-designate Salam Salam after meeting Berri. The speaker had held talks on the government formation process on Sunday with Progressive Socialist Party chief MP Walid Jumblat. Amid the Lebanese forces' rejections of Hezbollah's participation in the cabinet, the March 14 camp has reportedly accepted the 888 formula in principle, but it is awaiting answers pertaining to the ministerial policy statement and the rotation of portfolios among political parties. Former Prime Minister Saad Hariri met on Sunday evening in Paris with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Mr. Hariri's press office announced in a communiqué that the meeting was held in the presence of the Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov and the Director of the Department of Middle East and North Africa at the Russian Foreign Ministry, Sergei Vershnin, and the Chief of Staff of Premier Hariri, Nader Hariri, as well as his advisor for Russian affairs, Georges Shaban. They reviewed the situation in Lebanon and the region and are set to discuss the upcoming Geneva II Convention. The Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant executed dozens of rival fighters over the last 2 days as the group recaptured most territory it had lost in the northern eastern Syrian province of Raqqa. One of the activists who spoke from the province of condition of anonymity said up to 100 fighters from the Jabhat al-Nusra, another Al-Qaeda affiliate, and the Ahrar al-Sham brigade captured by ISIL in the town of Tel Abyad on the border with Turkey, the nearby area of Kantari, and the provincial capital city of Raqqa were shot dead. ISIL's growth has alarmed Western nations who are pushing the opposition to 10 peace talks in Switzerland in 10 days' time, and has helped President Bashar al-Assad to portray himself as the only secular alternative to extremism. Fighting between ISIL, rival fighters, and more moderate rebels has killed hundreds of people over the last 10 days and shaken the group led by foreign jihadists. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov called for localized ceasefires in Syria ahead of peace talks later this month in Switzerland. Lavrov and UN Arab League envoy Lakhdar Brahimi also said Damascus ally Iran should take part in the so-called Geneva II talks, due to start in Montreux on January 22nd after a meeting in Paris. Both said they hoped ceasefires could be in place before the talks, along with plans for prisoner exchanges and the opening of humanitarian corridors. Lavrov added, however, that these issues would not be a precondition to the talks. He also reiterated Russia's support for Iran taking part in the peace talks, which has been repeatedly rejected by the U.S. Kerry said Tehran could take part in the talks only if it agrees to the principles set out at the first Syria peace talks in Geneva, including the goal of creating a transitional government. Coming up next, the road to the Oscars 2014, we've got the highlights of the Golden Globes. Stay with us. Welcome back. Hundreds of Israeli VIPs and foreign dignitaries have attended the memorial service of former Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. The state ceremony remembered the controversial Sharon as a fearless warrior and bold leader who devoted his life to protecting his country's security. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden talked about a decades-long friendship with Sharon, saying his death felt like a death in the family. Biden added that he understood how Sharon earned the nickname the bulldozer, as he would repeatedly make the same points and drive them home during meetings. Though not everyone was a Sharon supporter. As a reminder of the precarious security situation in Israel, Palestinian fighters fired 2 rockets from the Gaza Strip despite warnings from Israel not to do so. Israel has increased security for Sharon's memorial and funeral near the Gaza border in anticipation of potential violence from Palestine. In other regional news, 7 Egyptians who were arrested while hanging posters against the Constitution, promoted as defending civil rights and freedom of expression, are facing charges ahead of a nationwide referendum on the document. Charges handed to the members of the centrist Strong Egypt party range from alleged involvement in terrorism, attempting to overthrow the regime, and engaging in incitement against the police and army. The activists who were arrested in 3 separate incidents were interrogated by prosecutors and police, during which questions fixated on the posters and the men's political views, the Human Rights Watch said in a press statement. The activists were taken in after finding them in possession of posters calling for a no vote in a 2-day referendum starting January 14th on the military-backed Constitution. The referendum is also seen to be a vote on the military-led July coup and its leaders. A deal between Iran and 6 major powers intended to pave the way to a solution to a long standoff over Tehran's nuclear ambitions will come into force on January 20th, according to the Iranian Foreign Ministry and the European Union. Shortly after the interim accord takes effect, an Iranian official added that Tehran and world powers would start negotiating a final settlement of their differences about the activity the West suspects is aimed at obtaining nuclear arms capability. Iran says its atomic energy program is aimed purely at electricity generation and other civilian purposes, although past Iranian attempts to hide sensitive nuclear activity from UN non-proliferation inspectors raised concerns. The November 24th agreement appeared to halt a slide toward another wider Middle East war over Iran's nuclear aspirations. The diplomats warn it will not be easy to carry out because of long-standing mutual mistrust. A man died and 4 other people were missing after a fast-moving wildfire destroyed at least 46 homes in Western Australia's Perth, according to officials. The blaze, thought to have been started by a fallen power line in the city's wooded outskirts, was fanned by hot, strong gusts that saw 20-meter flames tear through residential streets. It has been confirmed that 46 homes have been lost. Western Australia State Fires and Emergency Services Department said, warning that some 30% of the fire zone was yet to be assessed. State Fire Commissioner Wayne Gregson said 4 people remained unaccounted for, with fears they had fallen victim to the fire. Earlier, the ambulance service said a man aged 62 had died after collapsing on the roof of his house as he prepared for the oncoming blaze. 12 Years a Slave and American Hustle are on top of the Golden Globes. The 2 films took home the top prizes of the 2014 Golden Globes on Sunday night, winning Best Motion Pictures, 12 Years, and Best Comedy of Musical Motion. Hustle, the wins thrust the 2 films into top position for the Academy Awards Best Picture honor. The Globes are often seen as an Oscar forecaster. Another film, the space thriller Gravity, also earned an edge, winning Best Director for Alfonso Cuarón at the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's annual shindig. The Globes tended to spread the wealth this year. Hustle, based loosely on the Abscom scandal of the late 70s, was the big winner among films, earning 2 acting honors, Amy Adams' Best Actress prize and Jennifer Lawrence Best Supporting Actress trophy, in addition to the film award. 12 Years, based on a 19th century slave narrative, won the drama honor. Here are the highlights.
Good evening, I'm Amy Poehler. And I'm Tina Fey. Welcome to the 71st annual Tina Fey and Amy Poehler's Lee Daniels The Butler Golden Globe Awards. Thank you. A very good evening to everyone here in the room and to all the women and gay men watching at home. Amy Poehler is nominated for her work on Parks and Recreation. I believe Amy is here tonight. Can we get a shot of her? She looks fantastic. She looks amazing. Wow, radiance. It is hard to believe she's a 42-year-old mother of 2. Sure. Wow. Although I hear Amy's a little difficult to work with. Oh yeah, she's a straight-up bitch. And I actually did watch all the movies this evening, not all of them, but you know what I mean? And so I can say that the women this year, it's such an honor to be nominated with you. I don't know why it's so terrifying. It's obviously a good thing. I don't know why I'm so scared. I'm sorry, but you guys were so incredible and unforgettable, and thank you to my family and to my team, and I'm sorry I'm shaking so much. Don't ever do this again. It's so scary.
I think it was 47 years ago. So the Hollywood Foreign Press gave me a nomination for the promising newcomer. Thank you very much, Hollywood Foreign Press. I'm absolutely shaking. I can't believe this. God knows. You've nominated me about 5 times. I think this. Anyway.
I was always very grateful that the show resonated with American audiences, but now through this and the Hollywood Foreign Press, everyone around the world will be able to share in Breaking Bad's mirth and merriment. I'm up here because of Vince Gilligan. He's a genius.
Yeah, bitch. Thank you.
I always cry when I'm not supposed to, and then when a director asks me to cry, I can't cry. It really sucks. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hollywood Foreign Press. Thank you.
I did not ever use any prosthetics in this film. That tiny little Brazilian bubble butt was all mine. It was a very transformative role, and I had to do a lot of things to prepare. One of the things that I did was wax my entire body.
On that note, we end our bulletin for today. Now for a reminder of our top stories. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Jawad Zarif is in Beirut. Announces that he and an Iranian judicial delegation will visit to probe the details of the Iranian embassy's twin bombings. The head of the Future Bloc, MP Fouad Senoura, describes the cabinet formation as moving forward after talks with Speaker Nabih Berri. And the Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant executes dozens of rival fighters over the last 2 days as the group recaptures most territory it has lost. Those are your Monday headlines live on Future Television in Beirut. I'm Yumna Naufal, wishing you a good week ahead. Stay safe.
هل أنتم مقتنعون بتشكيل الحكومة؟